Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now, guys. If you guys are able to listen me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone. If there is any issues with the audio or the video, guys, please let me know. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you guys? Is everybody fine? Is everybody great? Good evening, everyone. How are you guys? Is everybody fine? Is everybody great, guys? You're after cleaning so much that's still dirty. No, it's fine. Okay, awesome. So, could you guys let me know what have we studied in our yesterday's class? Can you guys let me know what have we studied in our yesterday's class, guys? I'm fine, guys. That's great to hear. So, what is DevSecOps? Okay, so that is an advanced concept once you cover up the entirety of DevOps, and then you focus basically on integration of the technologies right over there. That basically classifies into DevSecOps. Now, that's a very advanced topic. First of all, you will have to understand a lot more about DevOps. Right now, we have just started with Docker and just GitHub, right? DevOps is a very complicated thing. Like you are having Marvin, then you are having CI/CD. You'll have to understand how to write CI/CD scripts. Then you have your integration. So it's actually a very integrated process itself. Now, a lot of different technologies are involved right over there. Of course, in 7 days, I won't be able to cover up a lot many number of things. In the training and internship that we run, we actually cover all the things up. But here, what you're studying in these 7 days is more than sufficient for you guys to get started with DevOps. That is the main concept right over there. Okay, so I missed two classes because of network problems. Will inform to ma'am, please help. So okay, if you have missed up two classes, we still give you guys the certificates. If one or two classes attendance is missing, but attend all the classes regularly. Otherwise, we'll not be able to help you out with the same. Okay, so yesterday we learned a little bit more about Docker docs. We started hands-on on Docker itself. Like up to this point of time, it was much more theoretical in nature. Yesterday we finally started with the like proper hands-on learning on Docker, and we need to grow from right over there. Of course, that is not sufficient, right? So yesterday we started, I think so. Let me open up the code sandbox itself. If you guys remember, yesterday we saw the Docker PS, we saw Postgres. Okay, how to start a particular Postgres image itself, how to build a container out of it. We learned how to stop a particular container and so on and so forth, right? So whenever you are creating a new particular, so let us open this up right over here. Yeah. So whenever we are running a new particular instance of a particular image, so right over here we ran the instance of the Postgres image itself. Now this Postgres image, because we have not specified any tags. Do you guys remember tags? What are tags, guys? Can somebody let me know? What are tags? Please let me know. Do you receive donations or tips? Not at all. As you're able to see on our channel, we have stopped receiving donations and tips because we don't work like that, right? And it becomes very irritating, according to me, in the boot camps especially, because students will then instead of focusing upon the learning aspect, they are much more focused upon sending 10 rupees and 20 rupees. Dude, what am I going to do with that? Okay, it is of no value to me, as well as students are also losing time at the end of the day, right? You guys are much more focused upon doing donations and shit, and you're not focused upon the classes. The aim of the boot camp is to make sure that you guys are focused upon the classes at the end of the day, right? It's all about learning. So that is the reason why I stopped it at the very early days of the boot camps itself. Okay, so what do you understand by these tags? Do you guys remember these tags, guys? Please let me know. Do you guys remember these tags? Please let me know, guys. We talked about tags in our yesterday's class. Tags are version. Very good. Abhidi, very good right over there. Tags are basically version. Okay. Okay, I'm very sorry. Mahum. Very good. So tags basically represent the version of the current image that you're using. So for example, in the Postgres, okay, which particular version of Postgres are you using? Are you, so if you are not specifying any tags, you're just writing Postgres, that is the name of the image, that is going to go with the latest version of Postgres that exists right over there. Okay, but if you want to specify an older version of Postgres, you don't want to use the latest version, you want to use something of a previous version, guys, then you can absolutely do that. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this concept of tags right over there? Are you guys able to understand this concept of tags? Yes? Okay, so in today's class, what we are going to learn, what is the aim of today's class is very simple. Now, it might take a little bit more time to complete the class because we want to cover up this topic today itself. So, we want to learn more about what are ports, why is the requirement of ports. Okay, we are going to learn about how to connect two Docker instances, like two Docker containers, two individual containers, how can we connect them. Okay, we are actually going to build a user interface to work with our DBMS. Okay, so we are going to learn about a new DBMS, that is MongoDB. Many of you guys, if you are interested in backend web development, you guys will be working with MongoDB most of the time itself. So we're going to learn how to set up a particular two individual containers. One will be an express container, that is a backend container itself, and the other one will be a database container, that is the MongoDB container itself. We're going to connect both of them together and we're going to try to use it. Okay, physically, of course, you don't need to understand anything about MongoDB. You don't need to understand anything about backend itself because we are just here to learn DevOps. But in the future, when you are moving out of this boot camp, when you are actually going to learn towards building your career, you just cannot learn DevOps individually. Please try to understand this, guys. Many of you guys fail to understand this because even in the boot camp, I'm not actually explaining you guys back-end development or front-end development or cloud computing or something like that, because we don't have that many number of days to actually do it. For example, usually when I'm teaching my students the entirety of full stack development, it takes me 4 months to complete, like at the bare minimum. And I take up classes of 2 hours every single day. Even right now after the boot camp from 10 o'clock, my class is going to start. So it takes a lot of time to actually cover up all the topics, and understanding just DevOps individually is literally of, if I say from the placement end, if you want a placement or you want an internship at a good company, and if you are just learning DevOps, then the chance of getting placed is actually less than 5%. Okay, you guys might feel that, oh shit, what happened right over here? We're here to learn DevOps, and this guy is saying that just learning DevOps is going to just give you a boost of just 5% for your placements. That's absolutely true. If you're just learning front-end development, then your chance of getting placed is like 15%. If you're just learning back-end development, the chance of you getting placed is 15-17% at max. And if you're good at it, okay, not just like average, you're learning React.js, Redux, hooks, you are building amazing websites. But still, if you're just focused upon front-end, the chance of getting placed is very slim to none. If you want to increase your chance of getting placed, learning full stack development plus a little bit of data structures and algorithms is very essential. So I'm making it very clear for you guys because I don't want you guys to live in that bubble that this guy taught us DevOps, now we are going to get placed. No, that is not going to happen. It's just an introductory sessions. These are just to explain DevOps to you guys so that you guys can continue from right over there. Of course, there are going to be boot camps further on as well on many other topics. For example, the HTML, CSS, JavaScript boot camp on Instagram clone that is going to start from, I think so, 15. Then on 24th or 25th, we'll be starting out with our next particular boot camp that will be on, I think so, React.js or backend development itself. So we are definitely going to have boot camps, but studying these technologies individually does not has a lot of weightage. Okay, you have to know how to integrate technologies together. That is the major aim. Okay, please do remember this, guys. I'm not a YouTuber. Please try to understand this. Okay, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't care about all these things. You will hear me cursing a lot in the classes. My job right over here is to make sure that you guys are clear with what you have to do in your life. Okay, that is my job. That's it. I don't consider myself as your, just treat me as a friend. Okay, that is more than sufficient. A friend that knows a little bit more. That's it. Okay. Okay. So let's get started with our classes. Okay. Okay. So let's continue from right over there. Let me share my screen first of all. Otherwise, again, just like in every single bootcamp, I'll get that comments. It's you again forgot to share the screen itself, and I will be like, hmm. Okay, no issues in that. Okay, so let us. I think so. I've shared my screen properly. Let us go back. Let me open up the chat section right over there. And one more thing, guys. Although many people will be telling you guys this, okay, just try to understand this. Do you guys remember on the very first day of the boot camp, almost 1,200 people came to the boot camp? Okay, 1,200 people came to the boot camp on the very first day. On the second day, almost 900 students filled up their attendance. But think about it. So many people started learning. So many people started learning. So many people are interested into the field of full stack. But very few people actually end up learning it. Now, in this class as well, we have only 300 students live with us. Just think about it in such a way that at the end of the seventh day, just by learning DevOps, there will be somewhere around 200 250 people only that would have like attended the classes. In that 250 people, less than 100 students would have actually paid attention. Okay. And in that 100 as well, people who will end up actually learning DevOps and actually going further with full stack will be less than 5. That's it. Your competition is not with the 1,200 people that came. Your competition will be just within those 5 people. And please do not think that your competition is just your college peers. Okay. Companies are no longer hiring from campuses. You will have to go further with an off-campus placement. People from IITs, NITs, triple ITs, BITs, BITS, people from every single good college, every single person who is unemployed, okay, every single person who is looking for a job change from a startup to an MNC, everybody is your competitor. Please try to understand this, guys. You are not competing with just your peers. I used to do that in the first year of my college. I used to do that. I used to look at my peers and I used to be like, "अरे भाई इसने तो lead code भी चालू नहीं किया है, अपना तो हो ही जाएगा." When the internship duration came, when I started applying for 2 months internship, I was not able to get a single internship right with it. Not even a single, because no company was coming to my college campus. I had to apply off campus itself. In off campus, the competition is pretty tough. Not pretty tough, it's very tough. Okay. So if you are not building your profile properly, if you are not focusing upon the right things, even after doing a lot of hard work, even after doing a lot of mehnat, it will feel like you didn't achieve anything. It will feel like that. Even I felt like that when I was not able to get the 2 months internship. But luckily, my big brother was at that moment of time working in Microsoft. So he actually guided me in the right direction. He told me one sentence: it is not important to know what to learn. Everybody knows that. It is not important to know what to learn. Everybody knows that. It is important to know what not to learn, what not to spend your time upon, because that is where you are actually wasting time. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. There's a just an advice for you guys. Let's start with our class. No more advices. Okay, a little bit of practicality should be there. Now I am able to understand that most of this looks very bad when you look at it, the terminal and everything. I am able to understand that, because see, the problem with this is that if I'm making it a little bit smaller to fit in the entire line, you guys will not be able to see anything. And I don't want that to happen. So please try to adjust it. Please try to understand most of this stuff. I will give my suggestion. Okay, so let's get started with that, guys. First, what you are going to do is right now we will first see what are the current containers that are running. Can somebody let me know what is the command to check which are the containers that are running, guys? Please let me know. Can somebody let me know what are the containers that are running, guys? What are the containers that are currently running? What is the command for that? Docker PS. Amazing, guys. Docker PS, guys. That will show us all the containers that are currently running. As you're able to see, only one container is currently running, guys. What is the command to stop that container? What is the command to stop that container, guys? Can somebody let me know? What is the command to stop that container, guys? There is a hint on the screen as well. It's those who are able to see. Okay, many people are able to write the correct thing. Okay, Docker stop and then the container ID or the name of the container as well. Both will work for you. Okay, please do remember this. Container ID or the name of the container, both will work for us. Here we will use the container ID. So Docker stop and then the container ID will just copy paste from right over here. Copy. I will paste it right over here. Paste. Enter. So that will stop the container. You can also check it up. Docker ps. As you're able to see, there is no container that is currently running. But there is something that you need to understand right now. You have stopped a container from running. That does not mean that it does not exist. This is a new concept, guys. Please try to understand this. Images are just blueprints. They are not related to anything else. They're just a blueprint on how to build a container. You use Docker run to run a container itself. You create a container out of it. You use Docker stop to stop a container from running. But that doesn't stop it from existing. Please try to understand it. It is basically like me telling to my dog that sit, okay, or play dead. It is just playing dead. It is not actually dead. It is not as if that dog did not exist in the entire life. It is there. It is still there. Just that now it is sitting in the corner. It is just not talking to me anymore. As simple as that. So here, although you have stopped the container from running, it does not mean that it has stopped existing itself. Are you guys able to understand this concept? Please do let me know. This is a little bit tricky concept. I'm able to understand that. You're stopping a container from running. It is not running. It is not using any of the resources. But the actual container is still existing somewhere. You have to kill it. You have to, it should be like a Thanos snap. Like when you're snapping, the Thanos, for those who are not a Marvel fan, they might not be able to understand. But when Thanos snapped his fingers, the elements just stopped existing. Like Iron Man just stopped, not Iron Man. Who stopped existing? Who the fuck? Okay. Black Panther just stopped existing right over there. Spider-Man just stopped existing right over there. They were no longer anywhere. Okay. That is what I'm trying to explain it to you guys. We have just stopped the Docker containers from running. It is still there in our memory. We can reuse it. We can restart it. But we haven't deleted it. Let us check that. Let us do Docker container ls. This will list all the containers that are still present inside of your system. Okay. What the fuck? So basically inside of Repellent, I guess so that they delete it in its entirety itself. But when you will be doing this inside of a local computer, you will still see the containers being present right over there. Okay, for us right now, maybe in Repellent, when you use Docker stop, it actually deletes the container as well. But in local computer, when you will be using Docker stop, it will actually show you guys right over there. Let us try this -a. Maybe that will show us. Okay, that basically shows us inside of this. Okay, so right over here, what I've done is I've used Docker container ls -a. -a basically shows us all the hidden containers that are currently not running. Okay. So let us try to understand this. Okay, let us go back. Let us start a new container right over here. Okay, so this I'm creating another Postgres container, guys. I'm creating another Postgres container right over here. The container name. So the container name is same. We are getting that error. Let us change this Postgres. Let's use Postgres L. Okay, so as you're able to see, I have created a new container. I can check what are the containers that are running using two commands, Docker ps. Okay, it basically shows us that currently this particular container is running. Along with that, there is another particular command that is Docker container ls. Both of them will do the exact same things for us, guys. Both of them will show us what are the current containers that are running. Okay, whether you are using Docker ps or Docker container ls, both of them are showing us what are the current containers that are running right now. If you want to stop it, so Docker stop and we'll put up the container ID, copy, paste, enter. So it is going to stop us. If we want to see all the different containers that are currently there but are not running, so if we are doing Docker container ls, it is going to show us that no containers are currently running. It's going to show us no containers are currently running. But if I write the same command with a hyphen a, that show with a hyphen a, docker container ls hyphen a, it's going to show me all the different containers that we have created up till this point of time, guys. It's going to show me all the different containers that we have created up till this point of time, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Docker container ls hyphen a, guys. Hyphen a will show you. So all these containers are not running right now. These are ideal containers. These are ideal containers, guys. We are not using them right now. These are ideal containers. We are not using them right now, guys. Okay. So right over here, as you're able to see, all the different containers that we had stopped, created about a minute ago, 23 hours ago. Okay. When did it close? 23 hours ago, 25 seconds ago, we closed it. Okay. Then you're having 24 hours ago, close 24 hours ago, and so on and so forth. Okay. All these containers we had created, and it is still kept right over there itself, guys. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is that we are going to learn how to delete these containers. How to delete these containers, guys. Let us find the docker container command itself right over here. So docker container. Let us find something that will help us delete it. This is a kill. We're going to use prune. Kill is a very separate thing. You can actually go further and learn it right over there, guys. We'll learn about prune right over here, guys. We'll learn about prune right over here. Are you guys able to see my screen? Please let me know. So Docker container prune is going to help us delete all the different containers that are currently not running. Removes all stopped containers, guys. As you're able to see the description. Are you guys able to see this description, guys? Removes all stopped containers. That is the aim of Docker container prune. Now you should not usually use it, okay? Because there will be so many different things, so many different containers that will be running at any particular point of time in the company. We shouldn't use this, but it's fine. Okay, nobody's stopping us from using it, right? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Is it clear to everybody, guys? Please do let me know. Is it clear to everybody, guys? Please let me know. Is it clear to everybody, guys? Please let me know. Okay, great. So next thing that we are going to do right now is that it is going to be super simple for us, guys. Let us open this up right over here. Where did the chat section go? Okay, so what we're going to do right now is that we are going to use Docker container prune. Okay, I forgot the spelling of prune. I will have to check it up. Prune. 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 This will remove all stopped containers. Are you sure you want to continue? Absolutely yes. Why is it asking us this? Is because see, we have not yet learned about Docker volume, but every single one of these container will also have its own data as well associated with it. There will be a lot of data inside of it as well. And hence, when you are using the Docker prune, it's going to delete all that containers and the data that it contains. So it is asking us, are you really very sure that you want to do it? So as soon as I prune all the containers, I delete all the stopped containers from right over here. It is going to take us a minute or two to do that. So as you're able to see, it is it is pruning all the containers for us. Okay, so let us see Docker container ls -a, and it basically deleted the entire Docker file system for us. So what has happened right over here is that because of a particular reason, that is we are working on a code sandbox. This is the reason why we are working on a code sandbox, guys, so that we are familiar with all these kind of things that might happen at any particular point of time. So what has happened right over here is because we are working in a sandbox, guys. The sandbox itself is dependent upon a Docker system for us to work upon Docker. Okay, so due to that reason, when we deleted Docker, when we deleted all the containers that are present, when we pruned all the containers, it actually deleted the main Docker container as well. So now we are not able to use Docker anymore right over here. Okay, as you're able to see, it is showing us command not found Docker. It basically is telling us that we have just deleted the entirety of Docker for us. Okay, so of course we are going to create a new thing right over here. But of course, if you are working on a local computer itself, you can definitely try this particular command out. There will be no issues with that. But always remember, when you are pruning, it will delete all the containers that are there in your system, guys. It will just delete everything inside of your container. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Can we try to type this code started in Git? So again, what you have learned in Git, you have to install Git for that. What you are learning right over here, you have to install Docker for that. Both of them will work from your command line itself. That is your terminal or the command line, whatever you are using right over there. Everything will work accordingly. Okay. So what you are going to do is we are going to create a new particular sandbox. Of course, we'll go into dashboard and we'll create a new sandbox for us so that we are able to work everything properly. We'll create a DevBox, Docker, whatever it needs to name it as, it's fine. We'll create it. It'll open that up for us. Okay, the next thing that we are going to see is we are going to create two instances of Postgres. One will be the latest version of Postgres and one will be the oldest, one of the older version of Postgres, guys. So let us do that. Let's go into the terminal. So it is creating the sandbox for us. It is going to take us a minute or two. Okay, so what will be the command to create the Postgres like Docker container itself, guys? Let us see that. Now this is a new instance, guys. We haven't installed anything right over here. We hadn't imported any of the images. We have done nothing right over here, guys. Please do remember this. We have done nothing right over here. This is a new instance that we are working upon. So we'll again go into Docker Hub, and this is the Postgres. We are going to first pull the Postgres, the latest version. So Docker pull Postgres, guys. First, we are going to do that because again, we are working on a new instance. So we have to first get the image. So hence Docker pull Postgres. First getting the image right over here. So it is pulling everything right over here for us, guys, again. The next command will be the run command. So again, you can go right over here. You can just scroll down below and you will be able to find the particular command to run Postgres. As you will see, Docker run name some Postgres, blah, 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 blah. Let's copy the entire thing out. Why to write it again and again? So we'll copy this and make the changes accordingly. Once the download is completed, it is going to take us a minute or two to do that. Okay, so now that we have the image, let us paste this and let us change some of the things. So just the name, let's change that. We'll call it as Postgres latest. Okay, Postgres latest, that is the name. Please make sure that you are not making a spelling mistake like me. And let's press enter. So it has created our Postgres latest. Now we want to create another container, but an older version of Postgres, guys. We want to create another container, but an older version of Postgres. Now, how to do that? So doing that is actually pretty simple. First, again, we need a new image. So the current image that we have got is for our latest version of Postgres, guys. Please do remember this. The current image that we have got is for the latest version of Postgres. We don't have an image for the older version of Postgres, guys. But I'm going to give you a little bit of trick. You actually don't need to download the image right over there. You can actually directly do this. Okay. Docker run Postgres, the particular version that we want to use. Let us look at some of the versions that are available for us. Let us use the 13.313. That should be good for us. Okay, so it has given me the entire code. I don't want to see that. That was the build file, guys. That is something that we have to learn in this bootcamp. Okay, so 13.1.3. This is the version that I'm going to go further with. Okay, this is the version that I'm going to build, 13.1.3, guys. So let us go to our thing, and 13.13. Okay, that is the version that we want to build. Yeah, absolutely right. And we'll change the name of the container, guys. Please do remember, two containers cannot have the exact same name. Two containers cannot have the exact same name, guys. So we are going to name it as Postgres old. Okay, Postgres old, guys. I'm going to place run. Now, as you're able to see, the first particular line, we have directly run the command, guys. We have directly run the command. The first particular line basically states unable to find image Postgres 13 locally. Unable to find the image Postgres 13.13 locally, guys. So hence it is first pulling the entire thing from Docker Hub, building it for us, and then we are actually going to use it. Then it is actually going to create it into a container. So you don't actually have to use the pull command again and again. That is what I'm specifying right over here. Your Docker run actually pulls as well as runs the file for you. Are you guys able to understand this? It pulls the image as well as it runs the image to build a container out of it. So you don't have to actually use the Docker pull command, but I've still taught you guys that because it is usually found very like everywhere. So you shouldn't be confused about it. You should know how to use that particular line of code as well. Now if I check up Docker PS, you're able to see that we are getting two instances right over here, guys. The first instance is the Postgres old that we have just spun up right now, Postgres 13.13, as you're able to see. And we are having another instance called as the Postgres latest. Postgres latest, two instances, two particular containers we are able to see right away. Somebody saying I have not shared my screen. The screen is shared right over here, I guess. Okay, but one more thing that you're able to see, ports. If you see the ports right over here, it is showing 5432/TCP, and the other container is also showing 5432/TCP, guys. Both the ports are same. Now, first of all, let's try to understand what is this port. Now, Docker, you need to actually like talk to your container, right? Just creating a container isn't sufficient. We are just learning how to create a container. What is happening inside of the container is that it actually contains Postgres, and you are going to work with that. You have to work inside of the particular container itself, guys. Now, how are you going to talk to a particular container? That is the main point that I want to convey. For example, if a ship is coming and the ship contains some particular toys that is required by your company, you have to collect it. You have to connect with it, collect that. You have to work inside the ship, take up all your like toys and everything from the ship itself and take it to your warehouse, right? You have to talk to the ship again and again. So how do you do that? You ask the ship to port at one particular location where you are able to communicate with that ship, right? In the exact same manner, these containers as well, you have to connect with that container. And this connection happens over that particular port. Port is basically in your computer. For example, you are having a particular desktop. Okay, you are having a screen. You are having a keyboard. You are having a mouse. You are having a Bluetooth connectivity inside of your computer. You are having Wi-Fi connectivity inside of your computer. All these different things actually connect to your computer using ports. So there will be some port that will be assigned that will be for your Wi-Fi card. So your Wi-Fi card is going to like relay information with your computer through that particular port itself. In a similar manner, every single container that you are going to create at any particular point of time is going to rally its information through a single port. Now, in this particular sense, when we are having two different versions of Postgres, two different containers of Postgres working on the exact same port, it might be difficult. For example, there are two companies and there are two ships right over there, right? There are two companies and two ships using the exact same port at the same time. So that there might be some kind of mishap that might happen, right? One ship is bringing in, let's assume food, and the other ship is bringing in, let's assume toys, and there are two companies that are going to access these ships at the same port. There might be a case in which the toys go to the wrong particular company and the food goes to the wrong particular company itself, right? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this concept that ports are required for these ships to actually communicate with the companies itself? Now, if they are working on the exact same port at the exact same time, there might be a scenario in which the stuff is going in the wrong particular directions. You're trying to communicate with somebody and something else is totally happening. There might be some kind of mishap right with it, and it is very common inside of web development as well. So there is a concept called as your port mapping. Okay, your port mapping, that instead of connecting to this particular port, we are going to like, okay, one particular one is going to work on the port 4000, the other one is going to work on the port 5000 itself. If you are able to specify these two things, then it will become easier for the particular. So both the ships are using different ports, not the same one, different ports to communicate with the company. Are you guys able to? So this is a little bit complicated. I know it looks like a spaghetti or noodles right over there. Everything is happening at the simultaneous speed itself. But the concept of ports, are you guys able to get an intuition behind it? The concept of ports, are you guys able to get an intuition behind it, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to get an intuition behind it, guys? Please let me know. I am able to understand that it's a little bit difficult for many of you guys to understand it. That's the reason why I'm trying to take it a little bit slower than usual. But this is an important concept, guys. That is the reason why I'm trying to make sure that you guys are able to understand this concept. So what we're going to do right now is that we are going to see how to map these ports, guys. But we are not going to do it using this because there is a little bit less time for us. So what we're going to do is we are going to jump over to the smaller project that we are having right now. It's not a very big project. It's a very small project, guys. And what we're going to do is while working upon the project, we're going to learn about a few more topics like networking. We're going to learn a few more topics like creating a network right over there for the two particular containers to talk to. We are going to set up different ports right over there so that everything works fine for us as well. So all this we are going to see right now, guys. Give me a second. Let us do that. So let us stop this right now. So Docker stop. And we'll copy the code from right over here. I think so. This is the container ID. So how many we can put in a single port? You shouldn't put multiple things in a single port. You should only put one thing at a single port itself. That is usually the golden thumb rule. You shouldn't put multiple things in the same port, otherwise it won't work for you. Okay. And sometimes most of the ports actually in your computer will already be in use. So usually Docker will let you know that this particular port is already in use. You shouldn't use it again. But nevertheless, always remember this, guys. One port, one item. Don't put multiple items in the same port. It won't work for you. Okay, at least it will work for smaller projects when you are actually working on bigger projects. It will cause a lot of problems. So our ports like checkpoints. No, ports are more like the telephone. Okay, you want to talk to a particular person, you have to dial a particular phone number to talk to him. Okay, if you dial some other number, you are going to talk to somebody else. You're not going to talk to the same person, right? It's something like that. Ports are basically that helps your computer and you to interact. Here, basically, you are interacting with the container. Okay, the user is able to interact with the container itself. Okay, so now that we have stopped both of them, we are going to look at a new particular thing, that is Mongo. Okay, so let me just search for that right here. So decrease the scene. I need to decrease it a little bit more. Search for Mongo. So in Mongo, there's a lot many number of things that we'll have to add. Okay, it is not going to be as simple as what we have done in Postgres. Okay, but nevertheless, Mongo is one of the most important like databases that you are going to learn at any particular point of time. If you guys remember, on the very first day, I told you guys what is a database. A database is basically like a refrigerator inside of a kitchen where you store all the spices, all the meat, all your data is basically stored inside of databases itself. So MongoDB is one of the most famous NoSQL database that exists. And yeah, if you are going to learn backend development at any particular point of time, this is going to be your go-to database itself. So let us scroll down a little bit below. As you're able to see, Docker pull Mongo. That is as simple as that. What is MongoDB? How to use this image connecting to MongoDB from another container. This is what we want to do. Okay, connect to MongoDB from another Docker container. If you guys remember it, we basically try to understand this, that our today's aim is to create two containers and make them talk to each other. That is the aim of today's class. We want to create two containers and make them talk to each other. So yes, we are going to use a lot many number of things from here, guys. It is going to be a little bit more complicated than usual, but yeah, we'll try our level best so that we are able to make this work properly, right, guys? So if we are creating a container, guys, let's take up the older route. What we have learned up to this point of time. What should be the command to create a MongoDB container, guys? What should be the command to create this MongoDB container? Can somebody let me know? Docker pull Mongo. Why? Again, I explained it to you guys just 2 seconds ago, right? That you don't have to pull it. You can directly write Docker run. Why are you pulling it? Again, Docker run pulls the image if it does not exist locally as well as runs it. So again, guys, see, Docker pull, I just made you guys understand that because it was important for you, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, guys. We can directly use Docker run, guys. We can directly use Docker run. That is what I'm trying to make you guys understand right over there, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? This is the reason why I asked you this particular question. This is the reason why I asked you this particular question, guys. Okay, so are you guys able to understand that we have to use Docker run, not Docker pull? We can directly use Docker run, guys. We don't have to use Docker pull. Okay, so let us try to use this particular thing, guys. Docker run. We'll just copy this particular code. Again, why to write it when we can copy it out? So let us copy this particular part out, guys. We are going to go with the latest version and we're going to paste it right over here. So paste Docker run hyphen name. Let's name it as Mongo. A simple name, Mongo should be more than sufficient. Or else we can even make it nameless as well. There's no problem in that. And actually, we don't actually require a name. We can just make it nameless for right now. So Docker run -d Mongo. That is as simple as that, guys. We are running the latest version of Mongo right over here. Okay, let's press enter. Unable to find the image, so it is getting the image right over there. Brother, it's not happening in Windows. It is not happening because, like in the very first class, I told you, you have to install Docker Desktop first. Without that, it won't work. So first install Docker Desktop. Okay, again, directly out of the box, your Windows laptop is not going to have Docker inside of it, right? So it is basically downloading the entire MongoDB for us, guys. The MongoDB image for us, first of all. Once it downloads that, then we'll start with our rest of the stuff. So we have created a new image Docker. Let's do Docker PS, guys. So Docker PS. And as we're able to see this Docker container that we currently have, okay, one of them, Postgres, is still not closed. We'll have to close it right now. So we'll work on that as well. But right over here, the MongoDB is currently working on the 27017. Are you guys able to see this? 27017. It is currently running right over here, guys. 27017, guys. That is where it is currently running. Now we want to map it to some other port. Let's map it to the 3000 port, guys. I don't know if 3000 port is available for us or not to use. I'm just like pitchballing right over here that if the 3000 port is free for us, let us map, like instead of using 27017 port, we want to use the 3000 port. Now how to do that? Actually, the command is actually very simple basically. So what we are going to do is we are going to write the exact same line of code, Docker run -d Mongo. But right over here, we are going to specify another particular parameter, that is -p. And there we are going to specify that we want to map the 3000 port instead of our 27017, guys. So doing that is very simple. Just write 3000 colon, okay, and then specify the port that you want to map it to. So 27017. So by default, our MongoDB is actually, as you're able to see, the MongoDB container that we have spun up is working on 27017. We want to connect it to port 3000. Now, why are we doing this? Because just 5 minutes ago, we just learned that we want to learn this. How to shift, if we are having multiple containers on the same particular port, how to shift it into multiple different places instead of using the same port itself. So that is what we are learning. But we are learning how to shift a particular connection for a particular container itself to another port. So it's shifting the connection for this new MongoDB to the port 3000 itself. As soon as I press enter right over here, it has created the particular thing for me. And as you're able to see, this is the port 3000, connection closed before message completed. So this is where we are actually able to access the port 3000. We'll be seeing that how to master that properly. Right now, let us see Docker PS. So we are having two MongoDBs right over here, guys, as you're able to see. One is this particular MongoDB that is working on the port 3000 connected to 27017, guys. And we are having another MongoDB container that is still working on the older 27017. So we are having two instances of MongoDB. Same instances. Please try to understand this. This is the same version of MongoDB, just that two different containers are there. One container still working on just the port 27017, and another container has linked its port to the port 3000. And whatever it needs to get, whatever, if I want to talk to this particular container, I will have to connect to the port 3000, not on 27017, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. Okay, so let's stop all these containers, guys, first of all. So Docker stop. Let's first stop this one. Oh shit. Docker stop. Copy, paste, enter. This has been closed. Let us copy this as well. So copy, stop, paste, enter. This has been closed. And let's close this one off as well. Copy. Let's paste it right over here. Paste, enter. So we have stopped all the containers right over here, guys. The next thing that we need to understand is about another particular image. So let us open our Docker once again, guys. So Docker Hub. And let's open up Docker Hub from right over here. We're going to see Mongo Express. Express. So this is another container, guys. This is a web-based MongoDB admin interface written with Node.js and Express. This is basically a website created using Node.js and Express. So this container basically contains a website created using Node.js and Express that has the functionality to connect to another container that has MongoDB inside of it. For those guys who are not able to understand, this is basically a website. This container is nothing else but already a pre-built website for us, which has the functionality to access a database made inside of another container. This container does not contain database inside of it, guys. This container does not contain MongoDB inside of it. It just contains a website. Now this container, the website, we want to connect it to another container that contains the MongoDB database inside of it. That is our aim, guys. That is our aim right over here. We can of course go through the entire documentation itself. It has a very well built documentation. You will easily be able to understand it. But are you guys able to understand? Can somebody let me know what does MongoDB Express, this particular container, contain? Can somebody let me know what does this particular container contain, guys? Can somebody let me know what does this particular container contain? the website. Okay, it contains a website that is the functionality of connecting to a particular another container that contains that contains MongoDB inside of it. I hope so everybody is able to understand this. I am able to understand. This might feel a little bit more like advanced for you guys, but yeah, that was happens when you're not when you don't know backend development. So, but nevertheless, I'm trying to make you guys understand it as in as simple manner as possible. Okay, so again, we'll create another MongoDB instance, guys. So right over here, this is what we want to do. We want to create another MongoDB instance. Let us do that right over here. So let's Docker run. Okay, we are going to give it a -p, so we want to connect it to a particular port. Here we are going to keep the port same. Okay, we are not going to change the port. We are just mentioning this because we just learned about it right now. So yeah, just let's just mention it. We have just learned the port, right? What is the port number, guys? Can somebody let me know? What is the port number, guys? Can somebody let me know? What is the port number, guys? Can somebody let me know? Wrong. Not 3000. What is the default port number, guys? Default port number of MongoDB. Default port number of MongoDB, guys. We are not here to create a new MongoDB. Default port number of MongoDB, guys. 27107. Good, guys. 27017, guys. 27017. That is the default port number, guys. And we're going to keep the port number the exact same. Now, before moving further, actually, I forgot to teach you guys about something that is called as a network inside of Docker, guys. Now, Docker network is actually a very simple concept. A Docker network basically states that to connect two different instances of a container, it should be present on the same network. Okay, Docker network basically states that when you are having two different instances of a container, so here we are going to have two instances of a container, right, guys? The first container is your MongoDB container, and the second container is your MongoDB Express container, guys. There are two instances of container that is there, right? So we want to connect both the instances together. So to connect containers together, you need a particular network upon which you are able to do that. You need a particular network upon which you need to do that. So let us create a particular container, guys. So network, guys. So we'll go right over here. So I just opened up the documentation again. You don't need, just Google it up a little bit. You will be able to understand it. So Docker network create. This is where you will learn how to create a network. It's actually pretty simple. It is not that complicated, guys. Okay. So to create a particular container, a network, what we're going to do is we're going to run this particular command to create a network, guys. Docker network create and then the name of the network. That's it. As simple as that, guys. Docker network create and then the name of the container. As simple as that, guys. Do not think a lot about it. Okay, do not think a lot about it, guys. Creating a network, create it in as simple manner as possible. Are you guys able to understand this, guys? Please let me know. So let's create the network and go over through the documentation once, guys, if you guys have the time. Okay, that will be my suggestion to you. So let's create this network. I am also not very sure if this will work properly or not. It's been a very long period of time since I use network. Usually there's a new thing that we use right nowadays, but nevertheless, let's do that. Docker network create Mongo net. Okay, let's call it as Mongo net. Okay, so we have created a Mongo network, guys. We have created a Mongo network. Now we can start creating the Docker container itself. That is the MongoDB container. So this is how we will be connecting. So connect to MongoDB from another container, guys. So you can go over this, or I will just do my own thing right over here. So Docker run, and then the first thing that we have to mention right over there is the particular port. So -p. and the port we are going to keep it as the same port itself, guys. That is 27017, 27017, and we're going to link it up to 27017 itself. Then we are going to specify the particular environment variables. So actually Docker requires two environment variables right over here, guys. That is the username and the password, guys. Okay. So when you're creating a MongoDB instance and if you want to use it, then you need two particular environment variables. Do you guys remember the environment variables that we created while using Postgres? Do you guys remember the environment variable that we created while using Postgres, guys? Please let me know. -e. Did I make any mistake? Somebody saying that is not 27017. So I have used the right one. So the environment variable that is required by MongoDB to work properly, that is the admin name and the password, guys, that we need to specify it right over here. Because our website, that is Mongo Express, it will also require this environment variables to actually connect to the backend. Okay, so let's specify that. To specify it, it's actually very simple. Just write -e. If you guys remember it from yesterday, so -e, that is the environment variable, and let's specify the environment variable right over there. That is the MongoDB blah 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 blah. Whatever the case is, we'll just paste it right over there. We can just copy the entire thing. We'll just copy the entire thing, guys. Copy, and we'll paste it right over here. Paste. Now there is another particular environment variable that we want to provide. This is the username. We also need to provide the password as well. So again, every time that you want to provide a particular environment variable, you will have to put up -e, guys. So again, because I need to provide another environment variable, so I will have to put up the -e once again, and then I will put up the another environment variable, guys. That is our MongoDB init blah blah blah, whatever the case is. The next thing that we need to provide is the network over which it is going to connect. So hyphen network, and then the name of the network that you have created right now. So that is how we will be creating it. So hyphen network, and then the name of the network that we just created. So Mongo -net, that is the name of the network that we just created right now. After that, we want to give it a name as well. So -name. I will name this as Mongo DB. Okay, that is the name of the current container that we are creating. We are going to run it in -d, that is in the detached mode, and we are going to provide it with the latest version. So Mongo, we want to use the latest version right up there. Let's press enter and let's hope that everything works fine, and it does not. Root latest, why is it going over root? Did I make any okay, so there should be no gap right over here, guys. I'm very sorry. There is a gap right over here. There should be no spacing right over there, guys. That is the reason it is not working right over there. I'm pretty sorry for the same. Usually I put up a gap right over there. That's the reason why. So, and it should be an equal to sign. I just copied it from right over there. That is not the reason why it is not working. So this should be password equal to example. Okay, equal to example, and in the exact same way, equal to root. Okay, so do not make these type of errors like me, guys. Equal to root right over there. Now it should be working fine, I guess. Yeah, so we have created our Docker container for MongoDB. So yes, I know this is very big of a code, guys, but yeah, you will have to specify everything right over there. Okay, you will have to specify everything right over there, guys. Okay, whatever we require, we have specified it right over there. We have specified the we have to run a particular container. We have specified the port that we want it to be linked. Okay, so we are keeping the port as the exact same. We have specified the environment variables. Please don't forget, we have to use an equal to symbol right over there. We have provided another environment variable, that is the password, again equal to right over there as well. We have provided it with the network that we have just created, that is MongoNet. Okay, MongoNet, that is the network that we have created. We have given it a name, that is MongoDB, Mongo_DB, guys. And then we have got the -d Mongo, that is which particular container we want to spin up. The next particular part is to create the Mongo Express as well. We have just created Mongo. We have to create the Mongo Express as well, guys. Again, we'll go to Mongo Express. We'll see what it requires to run. Okay, so Mongo run, then you have Docker run, then you're having the network, the name of the network. You're having the config. Okay, config MongoDB server, some MongoDB. So that will be MongoDB. That is the name. That is the MongoDB server that we have just created. And I think so that should be it. That shouldn't be a whole lot of a problem for us. Let us run this code. Let us just try to make sure that everything runs properly. Okay, and we'll have to provide it with some configurations as well, I guess. We'll have to provide it with the admin name and the admin password. I think so this is something that we'll have to provide to it, because without that, how will it be connecting to the same? So let's try to do that. Let's try to do that. I will teach you another way of writing the code as well. So for those students who are asking for attendance, guys, if I see another comment of attendance, I'll make sure that you are not getting your attendance. We are here to study, not for the attendance. If you're here just for the attendance, you can leave my class immediately. There's no issues in that. I'm not going to send the attendance out until and unless this is completed. Okay. So right over here, guys, this looks very clunky, right? This looks very clunky and very big. Let us try to create something that looks a little bit more better for us. Okay. So Docker run, and we'll run it in the detached mode itself, and then backslash. We'll run it in the detached mode and then backslash, guys. Backslash allows us to continue writing our code, continue writing our command, but in the new line. Okay, as soon as I press enter, as you're able to see, the command is not running right now. We have just gone into the next line and we can continue writing. So let's write down the port as well. That is what port has it specified right over here. The port that it is specified is 8081, okay, or 8001, whatever we want to do. I don't know if this will work or not. Let's try it out. So 8081, we'll link it to 8081. This is directly from the documentation, guys. This is directly from the documentation. I'm not changing anything right over here. Press enter. Again, we can continue writing our code. We'll provide it with the environment variable, guys, -e. That is the admin ID and password, admin name and password, guys. So admin username, copy. We'll provide it with that. And we'll paste it right over here. The name is equals to, and the name that we had suggested right over there was root. Okay, if you guys remember it, we have given it the username, that is root. So root. And in a similar manner, we are going to press backslash, and then shit, what happened? Did I do something wrong right over there? Invalid reference format. What did I do wrong? Anybody has any idea? What did I do wrong, guys? I think so. I haven't done anything wrong right over there. Yeah, I don't know. This time it is working. That time it was not working. Maybe some issue with the same. -e. Let us continue. -e, and then provide it with the rest of the stuff. Admin password. Let us paste that right over here. So paste. And then this should be equal to, what is the password? So password, password, that's the password right over there. Backslash. Continue writing the code. So two of the configurations we have provided. It needs another configuration right over there. That is the name of the container that you want to connect to. Okay, name of the container that you want to connect to, guys. So we will copy this. Copy. What was the name of the container that we created, guys, for MongoDB? Can somebody remind me? What is the name of the container that we created for MongoDB, guys? Can somebody remind me? Please let me know. What is the name of the container that we created for MongoDB, guys? Please let me know. What is the name of the container that we created for MongoDB, guys? Name of the container that we created for MongoDB. Mongo-DB. Good. Okay. So Mongo-DB. Okay, so we have provided it with this as well. We next need to provide it with the network. Yes, what is the next step? We need to provide it with the network name itself. So --, network, and then the name of the network that was there. So let's provide it with that as well. --, network, and then the name of the network. So the name of the network was MongoNet, if I'm not wrong. Backslash. Anything else that it requires right over there. Let us see once. We need to provide it with a name, and then I guess the particular. Okay, so we need to provide it with a name as well. So hyphen name web mongo. Okay, let's name it as web mongo, guys, and then the name of our particular Mongo Express. That is what we want to create, right? So we need to provide it that as well. Mongo Express, and that should be it. Let us start with that. Unable to find that locally. Download complete. Tanana Timkana. Let us see if this works or not. Okay, let us see if this works or not. It's going to take us some time for it to work, I guess. Okay, it is currently pulling everything up. Let us see if it worked properly or not. Okay, it is showing everything will work properly. The server has stopped. Shouldn't be the case. I should be able to open that up. Dev server has stopped running. Why is that the case? Docker PS. Let's check that. It is showing that our new container has been stopped due to some reason. Let us try to rerun that. Conflict. Okay, container name. I'll have to change it right over there. Let's change the container name. Let's change it to just web. Connection closed before opening. Why is that the case? Did I miss something? There might be an issue with code sandbox itself. I'll try it out locally once. Okay, there might be an issue with code sandbox that it is not allowing us to run the entire website at once itself online. So maybe that is the issue, but usually this works. Okay. Nevertheless, I'll check it up locally today and I'll let you guys know by tomorrow why is that issue coming up for us. So you don't have to worry about that. Right now, I'll give you guys the attendance for today's class. Try it out yourself locally. If you have a computer, definitely try it out locally, guys. Nevertheless, I'll make sure that I'm trying it out. Okay, that will be your task. Try it out locally if it works for you or not. I will also try it out locally once, whether it is working in the local computer or what error is happening right over there. I'll have to debug it, and I know many of you guys are getting feisty over leaving the class. So, nevertheless, I'll create the attendance link right now and share it with you guys. The attendance link will be closed exactly at 9:29. So please fill it up, fill the attendance by that point of time. Okay. Port 8080. Should I change my port? Okay, let's try that out as well. Maybe changing the port might help me. Let's change the port to 8080 or 8000. 8000 is also usually free right over there. Yeah, I will have to change the name as well, right? Let's remove the name for once because I don't think so. I need any help of the names of this particular container. So let's just remove that. Connection closed before message completed. The server was stopped. Do you want to close it? Okay, nevertheless, I'll try it out, guys. I'll make sure that by tomorrow I'm having a solution for you guys to work upon. Okay, because this is the final step of the entire thing. But nevertheless, I'll try it out and let you guys know by tomorrow. Fill out your attendance, guys. We'll meet in our tomorrow's class and we'll continue from right over there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.